and through the antenna and the transmitter, which is held by the track official at the end of the track, he has the control over to kill that engine by hitting that button. Now, the only time he will do this is if the vehicle is out of control and people are in danger. Now, sometimes the vehicle may look like it's out of control, but the driver is not. He has control of the vehicle, and he sometimes needs that power to get out of a tight situation.
Okay, round one continues. It'll be Master Disaster, driven by Doug Spanier out of Albany, Minnesota, and a guy who's used that kill switch often.
That's right. Rod Litzau's flipped USA 1 a couple of times. Now, they had used that kill switch to kill the fuel pumps, to keep fuel from spreading all over the track in case of a fire. Of course, we'll see right here. Looks like Spanier's having a little bit of problems going up against USA 1. Now, Rod's got a great lead right there across the finish line, but I think there was a few problems with Master Disaster.
You're right. Definitely problems for Doug Spanier.
Well, let's take a look at Rod's run here first. So across the first set of cars, he hits that exit ramp just perfect. Right there, he just kicks it in, and he gets that horsepower, turning them big tires over, and that's where he gets the speed up to clear all these cars in the second set to cross over the finish line. Now, he just barely catches that last car, and the suspension's working real good as he comes up there. Now, when he lands on the ground, he'll bring it down on all fours and cross the finish line.
Well, Rich, as Litzau went across the finish line, Doug Spanier took Master Disaster, kind of parked it across the guardrail.
Yeah, he did there, and what had happened, he lost it on the first set of cars. He got a little crooked and got crossed up, and in turn, he couldn't quite hit that second set of cars. We'll see here where it all started right there. He didn't land on the other side of cars. And you see right there, the rear steering kicked on him a little bit. Now, that's what happens when you don't get lined up for that second set of cars. He didn't have enough time, and in turn, he ended up going through the guardrail.
All right, here's Mike Goss down at trackside with a kind of shaken Doug Spanier.
Doug, you took out a good chunk of the guardrail. What happened? I was really trying hard tonight to beat USA 1. I had my truck running good. I got a little bit crossed up in the first set of cars, and I got it straightened out. When I caught the second set, I don't know, it's just like the rear wheels turned, and it just took a left turn right over through the fence. Kind of stood it up straight on that first set of cars. That really hurts early on in a race, doesn't it? Yeah, it does, and especially starting on the left lane, the dirt ramp seems to be a little bit sharper. It's shooting everybody up in the air a little more.
Well, Rich, it seems like Master Disaster has been disqualified.
Yeah, he has, Stan, since he did go out of bounds, and he thinks it was caused from them ramps at that first set of cars, and of course that's where it started. And since he did go out of bounds, he is disqualified.
Well, it looks like the end of the night for Doug Spanier. And we'll continue with more action from Sunland Park and the start of round two right after this. Trucks and Tractor Power. Stan Rhodes and Rich Hooser here for the start of round two. It will be Wild Hair taking on Leadfoot. And then USA 1 versus Just Showing Off and Tough Enough up against Nightlife and Mad Dog in a bye run because of Master Disaster, driven by Doug Spanier, being disqualified for going out of bounds. So there you see Bob Breen in Wild Hair out of Jefferson City, Missouri.
And of course, Bob Breen's still running that stock 454. He's coming a long way.
And here's a guy with a lot of surprises for us tonight, Ron Dennis out of Flagstaff, Arizona in Leadfoot.
Yeah, Leadfoot's doing real good here tonight. He's just surprising me. It's just unbelievable the way he's running. Now, this ought to be a good, even race here. You got Ron Dennis, but the way he's been running, he's going to do real good. He hits the cars first, and he's got a great lead over Wild Hair. And this is unbelievable the way Ron Dennis is just taking over the show tonight. He's doing an excellent job at driving. That truck is just holding together great.
Well, congratulations, Ron Dennis, in that 77 El Camino.
Of course, you can see right here, he's got a tremendous lead on him over that first set of cars. Now, without that horsepower, Bob Breen is just nothing else he can do. Now, Dennis does a little bit of bouncing right here, but he manages to keep the lead and take the win.
Okay, let's go down to Mike Goss.
Ron, looks like you got him right off the starting line.
Yeah, we built a little bit bigger motor this year, Mike. We're doing pretty good. We got to do a few more changes to our suspension, as you can tell. But we feel pretty confident tonight.
Well, Rich, Ron Dennis is feeling pretty good. Now you see Pablo Cruz out of Phoenix, Arizona in Tough Enough, driving that 1989 Ford Super Cab, a former mud bog racer. And Mike Speller getting them all ready to go. It's going to be against Dave Wyzorek, Grand Island, Nebraska, driving Nightlife.
And this ought to be a good race here. Now, this first run here, Pablo Cruz didn't do so well, but I think he might have learned something because look right here, he's coming on strong. He's got a little bit of a lead over Wyzorek, but right there in between the cars where Wyzorek takes over, it's going to be real close, Stan, but it looks like Dave Wyzorek and Nightlife takes the win.
Well, that former mudbogger gave it a run, but it was Dave Wyzorek coming back with a good win.
He did excellent. He learned a lot from his first run. Now, these guys are both pretty equal on horsepower. They're both blown and injected. Now, tough enough that his engine's in the back now. I don't know if that gave him a little disadvantage or not, but Wyzork takes the win.
All right, well, let's take a moment now and go down to trackside with Mike Goss, who has Dave Wyzork.
Dave, you were behind off that first set of cars. Did anything happen on the starting line?
No, everybody's getting a bad bounce on that first set, so I thought if I just took it a little easy over that first set of cars and then got into it when I got on the straight, it'd work. It did.
So you hit it pretty hard in the straightaway then?
Right.
This Tough Enough looks like a pretty good truck. We haven't seen him before.
Yeah, he is. That's the first time I've ran with him, and, you know, from what I can see, he's going to be a tough competitor.
So round 2 continues with USA 1, Rod Litzow in that 88 Chevy. A lot of horsepower there, and he'll be taking on Pablo Huffaker and just showing off in that 89 Ford.
Yeah, this is going to be a good run. Now, I'll tell you what, I've raced both of these guys before, and here's one thing that Litzow will do. Now, he doesn't own this truck. Now, Pablo owns his truck, so he might be a little more easy on the equipment. And Litzow, every time he runs, it just full bore the whole way. And you can see right here, he's just got the hammer down, and he just takes a win. Real fast run there.
Oh, he was way in front of Pablo.
Now, Pablo had a little bit of problems there in the first set of cars. He's doing a little bit of a bouncing act there. His front tires, he can't seem to get them on the ground, and you can see Litzow's already on the ground. But when Pablo hits that second set of cars, he just takes it nice and easy. Hopefully he can come back again.
Let's go down to Mike Goss.
Pablo, everything's got to go right to beat USA 1, doesn't it?
Oh, you bet. He's a tough customer.
Looks like you had a little trouble. You got a little out of shape on the first set of cars.
That little truck wasn't handling real good. Even if it had been handling good, it'd been hard to run with Rod.
Indeed, it is a little hard to run with somebody when you got a truck like USA 1, backed and sponsored by Chevrolet. He can have a lot of money to get all that horsepower. As you can see right here, he takes a nice, easy win, clearing almost all the cars. Perfect run.
Rod, they're staying with you right off the starting line, but when you hit that straightaway, I mean, it's just horsepower and speed.
Yeah, that's the way we got this thing geared up right now. We're coming out of the hole a little bit slower because I'm geared up so high so I can work the power out. So when I get in the mid-range there,